No.
Hello, I'm Brendo. This is the tosses class review, and so in it we basically just kind of talked about all the different types of tosses. There are there are traveling tosses, as one could call them, or just you know, translatable tosses, sort of like that, where you're figuring out the tangent of the direction that you want the toss to go, and then at a 90-degree angle to that, you let the handle go, and it tosses right around. And it's going to rotate around. The handle is going to rotate around the head of your poi, and with that, you can just give it a little bit of momentum, but you can give it a little bit of forward momentum. Or whichever direction that you actually want to spin it, to toss it in. I think you can do it. You can probably do a reverse toss, like that, and things like that. And that is just doing a toss. That's basically just figuring out the tangent that you want to release it, and just releasing it. Isolated throws or isolated tosses. For this, we're going to bring the poi up to a level, usually to about 90 degrees, and then for an in-spin isolated toss, we're just going to give the handle a little bit of momentum with a flick downwards with our thumb, and it's going to rotate right around. The anti-spin variant of that, I've found that if you aim a little bit higher than the area that the place that you want to throw it, works better for anti-spin, because you get more, you have more time, because instead of flipping your handle around the head that way, we're going to flip the handle around the head that way. And so it looks like that. And so that little extra momentum of up and around with that flip of your fingers flipping up gives you the time. That little extra higher than the tangent gives you the time to pull up and flip up for the anti-spin. We also talked about isolated tosses between hands. So I can toss from my right hand to my left, from my left to my right, and all that is, I am isolating the head of the poi at about this moment, and using my thumb to flip downwards. That you can do that behind the back. I didn't isolate that enough. You can do that around the back. Still not quite isolated enough, but it gets it more in front of you. And the last types of tosses that we talked about were flat plane tosses. Actually, second to last were flat plane tosses, so horizontals. So for that, my poi ran away. For that, my poi runs away. What you want to do is, again, bring that poi up to the same level, and have your hand follow it so that it almost ends up in a float, so it doesn't have a whole lot of vertical or gravitational momentum. And you can flip inwards to make it go, technically I guess that would be clockwise, with your forefingers. And you're going to catch it like this, catch it at sort of like a catcher's mitt, with your thumb down and the forefingers up, and so that looks again like that. Or you can go the other way. Instead of pushing that way, we can push that way with our thumb, so we can push it to the outside of our body, and that catch is going to be a standard 4 fingers on the bottom catch. The last thing that we talked about were no-beat tosses. So all the other tosses that we're doing, the head is, or the handle is rotating around the head as such. And what we're going to do now is we're not going to have a beat. So it's either going to be, yeah, so it's going to be a no beat toss. And just give it a little bit of momentum as you're spinning in a circle. You can pull it a little bit along its arc and let go. And you can do that around an arm, around other poi, etc. The other ones you can sort of do as float tosses. Again, this is a no beat because the handle is just staying on the same side of the poi. We're not rotating around the poi. And the last one with those are penguin tosses, as Ted and a couple others call them, which is rotate them around. Same sort of thing where you're pulling, you're going to pull it forward, and again that penguin catch with your thumb on the bottom. The last thing, the last thing is sneaky tosses. There is an isolated butterfly toss. Not really isolated butterfly toss. A butterfly toss, you go up and it will land in the opposite hand. So basically the hand paths are up and then it lands in the other hand, and this hand is doing a reverse butterfly and it goes up and it does the reverse butterfly. The sneaky toss version of that, I'm spinning in reverse butterfly and I open my hands and I kind of release my poi or switch my poi, and they switch hands, and they also, because of that, switch directions. So reverse, forwards, forwards, reverse. And all that is opening your hands up. I open my thumb and forefinger or index finger open and do a little pass so the handle comes from the palm into the thumb and forefinger, or thumb and index finger, and then the same sort of transfer happens and you continue spinning. Other than that, the last one that I know of is that sort of motion where you tossing, and instead of just passing off, instead of doing a isolated throw like that, you kind of do a side stall motion like that. And that is it. I'm gonna go yell at Ducky now. Ducky!